Do you love traveling, or do you have plans of traveling? Is it local, international? Do you have things that you consider normally that are most difficult to plan for? What are the key things to traveling abroad? If you are worried about this, then this video is for you. For you Asians and Filipinos living in the Middle East who want to travel abroad, either to ASEAN countries, to the Europe, to the US, you just keep watching my vlog. And to those of you who are not subscribed yet, click that notification bell button with the subscribe red button. If it turns gray, you're subscribed to the channel. This is Uptown Goddess, and thank you for being with me. Number one, how to get visa. Based on experience, getting a visa to countries you want to go to is a very difficult process, and there's a lot of documentations to consider prior to getting your visa stamped on your passport, and that's a big worry. And this is where you try to consider traveling to a country where you can get visas upon your arrival. So I'd say, based on the experience, travel to countries based on your nationality and find out in which countries you could go to without needing a visa prior to your trip. So for Filipinos living abroad, especially in the Middle East, this video is for you, because I'm going to tell you tips on how to travel to Asian countries where it's easy for you to travel to without needing a visa. Just get your visa upon your arrival to the immigration of a particular country. So let's say, for example, you travel to Singapore, you travel to Hong Kong, you travel to Thailand, Indonesia, Cambodia, name it. The Southeast Asian countries are friendly to Filipinos. For Filipinos who are watching this video, I'm going to let you see the list of countries. There are about 60-something countries, including Taiwan now, that has opened the country for visas for Filipinos that wants to travel to just tour around Taiwan. Number two, what are the documents that are required for you to present to the immigration of a particular country to get the visa and be able to travel in the country? So let's say, for example, I want to travel to Singapore. I know that I'm going to bring my passport anyway. I'm going to bring my travel document, whatever is required, before leaving even Kuwait. So here you go. I'm at the Singapore airport. I tell the immigration officer, I'm just going to need to stop over for 2-3 days to just enjoy Singapore. So finding out where to go in a particular country is also one of the points in this vlog, so stay tuned. Number three, where to book and how to book for this particular trip. Because for Filipinos especially, my tip, based on the experience again, is that coming from Kuwait, I would schedule a 3-day or a 2-day stopover, only stopover. The word is stopover. To Singapore, to Hong Kong for a particular 2-3 days. And I'm just going to tell my travel agent to book for me a stopover of Kuwait to Philippines, but stopping over Hong Kong for 2 to 3 days, and I'm not going to be charged for any extra costs. If you don't have a travel agent arranging your trips for you, then you can tell your HR, your human resource department, the person who is booking your flights for you, tell them to book for you a stopover for 2 to 3 days. It's just the same. They're serving like your travel agent. So let them know that you're stopping over in a particular Asian country, and they're not going to charge you. The airlines would not be charging you extra cost for stopping over. You're going to be paying the same amount of airfare from Kuwait to the Philippines. Number four, prepare your itinerary. Where are you going to go to? What do you want to see in a particular location or country? Google it. Google will give you the best spots that you can enjoy in a particular country on a short period of time, especially if you're traveling 2-3 days. Number five, who are you going to be traveling with? Are you going to be traveling with your family, with your friends, or people you don't even know? You can also travel with strangers on a package tour. The package tours, though, would cost you more than traveling alone or traveling with your family and friends or people you know, with just getting a map to get you into the whereabouts of the city, seeing the different places. You can always prepare your Google map, so you only have to be with someone tech savvy, or you learn how to follow maps. You will have the manual map in front of you at the hotel, by the hotel desks. And you would also have the availability of the Google map by Wi-Fi. Number six, Booking hotels or accommodation. Booking hotels or accommodation can be done earlier than the stage of preparing for arriving to the country. So you can do booking in advance through booking.com. I'd say booking.com. It's not that I'm sponsored by booking.com, but because I have been a user of booking.com application and it has been friendly. You can see a Google map there. It tells you where the hotel you're going to be staying at, the address, the telephone numbers. It's going to be easy. They make for you an itinerary. It shows you the tourist destinations nearby the hotel. Exactly. So all you're going to do is go to booking.com, search for the place that you want to stay in a particular city, and then say city center, for example, Singapore. Booking.com could help you with that. And they show you the best rates they can offer every day by 75% discounts, 64% discounts, depending on how frequent you are booking through booking.com. If you don't want to book a room or a particular hotel, you can actually even search for hostels where you can share bed space with other guests at the hotel or at the hostel. It also can book for your flights going to a particular destination, but I haven't done that, so I would not really recommend it. There's another option, which is Airbnb. This Airbnb.com is a website I use when I book a particular condominium or an apartment or a hotel back in the Philippines. You might even have friends that are living in that particular country you're traveling to, so connect with them. And it's always nice to maintain relationships because you don't know that one day you might be there in that particular place and you have friends there, so it will be easy for you to get around the city, not basically stay with them, because if you're going to stay with your friends who are based in that city, you will be dependent on the timing they have for you. You will have to wait for them to have day offs or the weekends for them to let you see around. But if you know the city or you have the map as well, you can make use of that. Having friends in the city, you have your map. I'm saying that you also book a hostel. It's a cheaper option than booking hotels. If you're just bed spacing and then you have friends at the same town, they might even trip you out and might even offer you to stay with them. The hostel is not much as a rate, so it's not going to matter if you are going to stay with them and leave the hostel for a couple of hours and stay with your friends or go out with your friends. But at least you will have your own space to stay in if they're not going to be available. So that's always safe.
Number 7, navigate. If you're already in the country or the destination you want to be in and already ready for traveling, always check the amount of time or hours to travel from one destination or one tourist spot to another. If you're already in the city and you don't have much time because you're only stopping over for 2 or 3 days, check your priorities. Check on your list and see the place that interests you most and put that on top of your priority. Travel to tourist destinations or tourist spots that are near to each other. I don't think traveling 5 hours from one point to another is going to help you find more places to explore. Don't travel from north to south of the city if that's going to take you 5 hours or 6 hours or 7 hours, because that's not going to help you find more interesting things to do. Number 8, always bring cash with you. And remember, when you're traveling, always carry cash with you, because remote places especially will not have debits or credit card machines to swipe your cards on. Number 9, always keep your official documents safe. Keep all your official documentations with you, like your passports, safe and handy at all times. Given that you're only stopping over for a couple of days, make sure that you only bring a copy of your passports, your travel documents, and leave all the things on the safe of your hotels. Because you should remember that you're gonna go home, right? So you have to have those passports and travel documents intact, safe at all times. So if your hotel doesn't have safe, you ask the front desk if you could keep it with them until the time you are checking out. Number 10, travel light. When you're stopping over, please make sure that you bring as light as the luggages that you can, because you are supposed to enjoy on the stopover, right? You should be hassle-free when you're stopping over, because it's gonna be a lot of stress to think about your 2, 3 luggages with you, and then your backpacks, and then your handbags or whatever. Travel light as much as you can, because you don't know when you're gonna stumble upon a beautiful scenery and decide to stop over for a couple of hours in one place. That's not part of your itinerary. Number 11, travel insurance.
In Europe, you will not be able to travel without travel insurances. Travel insurances covers you for any delays in flights, stopping over somewhere you're not supposed to stop over. They pay you for the luggages lost. They pay you also for all these delays in flights, including your clothing allowances and food. In the US, when you travel and you are driving in Kuwait or anywhere in the Middle East, you can apply for an international license and get a corresponding travel insurance for that. Because in the US, you are not required to travel with insurances. It's an option for you to get. So I recommend that you travel to the US with an insurance because that covers you, that gives you a cheaper package when you want to drive around the US. Let's say, for example, you're going to be driving and are supposed to be charged $100. If you have the insurance, corresponding insurance you've taken before your travel to the US, you're going to get it for like 80% off, 60% off. So you're going to be paying instead of $120 just for a day rental of a car, right?
Number 12, budget.
And since we're talking about traveling, and you cannot travel without money, so budget is key. Let's say, for example, being a Filipino, we traveled stopping over. Stopover is again the key word. Stopping over to Singapore, to Hong Kong, a couple of times, Malaysia even. We have budgeted, for me and my husband, touring around in the city without the airfare because the airfare is covered from your Kuwait to Manila trip. Stopping over 2 days means spending another 20,000 pesos or 30,000 pesos. That's up to you to budget. Now, traveling internationally to either New York, the European countries, the US, also be very wise in choosing countries of destination. Like, for example, we wanted to travel to Vegas first and down to New York. We were not able to do that because from Kuwait, Vegas is a lot longer as a trip than New York. So geographically wise, New York is a lot cheaper by airfare than Las Vegas. So we took the New York and then Las Vegas was our last destination. So consider that as well. So internationally, we both are Filipino couples traveling from Kuwait or the Middle East to the US, and that costed us about 1,200 KD. I'm going to let you see the dollar conversion and the Philippines conversion to that. But the 1,200 KD, or how much is that converted to dollars or to euro or to Philippine peso, consider that as your 1 month budget. And that's a budget including your hotel, your airfare, your food allowances, your touring allowances in different cities. We went to the US in 5 different cities, including Utah, Salt Lake, but we stayed in New York. And New York was by far the most expensive city we went to in the US. In Europe, we've also spent around 1,200 KD. Another conversion to that is in dollars and euro right here, and in peso as well. We also stayed for a month in 9 different cities in Europe, which is 5 different cities in Germany or 4 different cities in Germany, 2 different cities in Netherlands. We went to Paris at the same time, and that was during Christmas and New Year. Imagine a 1,200 or 1,400 KD for a month stay in Europe is so much less than what you have expected to spend for, right? Imagining that you're going to travel to those places.
Number 13, weather. Is it summer? Is it winter in the country you're going to? Check this out to make sure that you're covered with the right outfit when you get there. You don't want to be caught in a winter period and brought a summer OOTD, right? You don't want to be in a place where you will end up buying all the clothes that you need. You're going to need during the period that you're traveling. Always make sure that you also bring a pair of sneakers with you because a pair of sneakers will always be safe whatever the weather in the country you're going to. And to the Filipinos from the Middle East specifically who are watching this video right now, you might want to take notes of the countries here below that I'm going to show you where you can travel visa-free or visa upon arrival, which means you don't have to apply or pre-apply visas before you even travel. But stopping over means going to the immigration and tell them that I'm going to need a visa to tour around the country for a couple of days before I go to the final place of destination.
And that's it for the free visa travel for you Asians and Filipinos living in the Middle East who want to travel abroad, either to ASEAN countries, to the Europe, to the US. You just keep watching my vlog, and to those of you who are not subscribed yet, click that notification bell button with the subscribe red button. If it turns gray, you're subscribed to the channel. This is Uptown Goddess, and thank you for being with me.